you ever just sat down and just reflect and look and you come to the conclusion that this life is crazy? Am I even real? You ever pinch yourself to find out, am I real? Am I really existing now? And sometimes we wonder, why are we existing in this era? Why we never did born before or born after? Sometimes I reflect and ask some questions. And when I am in that moment, I always try to find a way to connect back to something, because there must be a reason that I am existing today in the 20th century, the 21st century. Now we are in 2020. There must be a reason that we are existing at this very moment. It is very important. And it brings me back to when God said that he knew us from before we were in our mother's womb. So he predestined us to be born at a particular time for us to come and serve a purpose here. I remember we were at a believer's enrichment and the preacher was giving the analogy that, you know, bulbs, they give electricity, they give lighting. You have the microphone, you have a speaker, and you have stuff, but they will not be adequate and they will not be able to serve their purpose unless they are connected to the main source of electricity. And it's like, it looks simple, but it is true. And even for us today, God, who is our source, if we are not connected to that source, trust me, you're gonna be on earth, but you're not serving any purpose. You're gonna be like a light bulb that is not giving any light, like a microphone when no sound now come out of. That is how it is important for us to connect to our source, because at the end of the day, he made us. And therefore, he would know the will and purpose and have all the good intentions for us. Because there are times when we can't fathom some things that God have in store for us. We can't see more than how we can see, if you understand the visioning part of it. Sometimes we cannot imagine. We don't even know how to ask. We can't fathom the goodness and graciousness and the wisdom of God. The universe. You ever just sit down and look how earth is just like a little dot in a bigger picture, and like it wake you up and it's like a different medicine, and you say, but somebody must be here. Why is it that the earth is this distance away from the sun? Because if it was closer to the sun, it would be too hot and lives could not survive there. And if it was farther away from the sun, it would be too cold and life could not exist there. Somebody must be behind the scene. And it is important for us to be connected to that creator, the Almighty God, who placed us here for a reason. No, because of sin, we tend to hide from God, and we have the rebellious nature in us as human beings. But it should be your intention and your desire that every single day that you get up, you choose life and death. You choose light over darkness. You choose good over evil. I get up sometimes when I'm praying, I will pray, create in me a clean heart, O Lord, and renew the right spirit within me. Because sometimes we have the spirit of fear, and you know that fear is not of God. Sometimes we have the wrong spirit. Sometimes we have other things in our life acting as gods and committing idolatry, when it should be God that we should be focusing on and connecting to. We have to offer our body as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. We have to have that passion and desire to search after things for God, offering our mind, our soul, our body. As I tell people, I have to give and release and be a servant. God will ask you at the end of the day, what have you been doing with your time here? We have to be sheep and goats. So if it is that we are connecting to the source of God, we have to do what God expects of us. He calls the sheep. The sheep are those persons who, when people hungry, you feed them. When persons are naked, you clothe them. Who is in the prison, you visit them. For persons who are sick, you go and look for them. Some simple little things. And you know what I appreciate about the salvation message? It is very simple, so a little layman can understand it. And somebody was sharing that why we don't have a lot of scientists or those educated persons accepting the salvation message is because it is too easy, and them not see them can't do the mathematical calculation. Them can't find the derivative of that and them calculus. It is not something you can calculate, and that is why a lot of people shun the gospel, because it is too easy. How can a man go crucify and be crucified and offer salvation? How can I just believe in my heart and speak with my mouth and I am saved? That to them is too simple. But I am so happy that God used foolishness, if they want to call it his foolishness, to conquer our earthly wisdom, because sometimes we are too intelligent for our own good. And I appreciate that it is that simple. If you just believe in your heart that Jesus is Lord and confess with your mouth, that is all that is required. So connect to the source. As me say, we cannot camp outside of God's provision and yet still accept God to provide for us. So we have to cross over. It is crossover time. We have to reconnect to the source. If you're connected, stay connected. If you're falling off, falling back, you can reconnect. Have a good listen, a weekend is, the little time when you get a little chance to exhale, some of us, so that we are refreshed for another week. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.